What up? It's another video by Ify's Voice, and here's another video tonight, this Sunday evening. You know, so here it goes. This video is going to be titled something like, I'm through with immature people. I am. Why is a plane always flying when I want to make a video? No. But I'm through with immature people. Immature people are starting to get me fed up to here. I'm starting to get a little fed up to here. I'm headed up to here with immature people. I'm tired of being the bigger man. No, I'm not tired. Well, I'm tired of being so much of the better person all the time and just tolerating so much immaturity in certain people. I'm tired of being so much, trying to be so smarter, so much more intelligent, so much more mature, which I will continue to uphold in my character. But it gets a little, it draws your energy, it takes your energy a little bit, and it gets a little tiring when you always have to be so smart, so intelligent, so mature, and so good, and something like that. Why can't other people be mature, be smart, be mature, really? I understand. When I was younger, um, I tolerated immaturity a little bit more because I myself wasn't that mature. I was teenager, young, early 20s. You're not fully mature yet, but you should be mature for your age. Act your age, not your shoe size. Be mature for your age. If you're 25, act like a 25-year-old should act, and I try to act mature at that. If you're 20, act like a 20-year-old and try to act mature at that. I don't expect 20-year-olds to act like 30-year-olds, but I do expect them to have a certain degree of maturity with them. I know they're still young, they're still growing, and I expect some mistakes and some levels of immaturity in them. That's understandable. Lots of adults don't understand that younger people are not grown yet, and then they're gonna still act immature in certain ways. I understand that. When I was a teenager, I tolerated immaturity sometimes. I didn't like it. I was always mature for my. I was the. I'm not gonna say I'm the maturest person in the world. There's times where I can mature too, but not really immature, but just well, a little immature too. Everybody's not mature until a certain, until you gradually get older, you get more mature and mature. But I was generally at least a little mature for my at every stage of my life. I gotta say that I was a little mature at every stage of my life. I used to see certain people at every stage of my life act immature. I dealt with it the way I should have dealt with it because I know when I'm young that people are going to act like that. It annoyed me, but I realized people are like that because they're not mature themselves. So I tolerated it the way I should tolerate, the way I should have tolerated when I was young or at that time because I know people don't mature. People are still maturing. So I tolerated it, even though I didn't like it a little bit. I was kind of fed up a little bit, not fed up, but just a little annoyed by certain degrees of immaturity in people. At any stage in their life, but I tolerated it because that was the stage people were in. But as you get older, you want to be mature. And the older you get, the more fed up you get with immaturity. But the more aware you got to be of people's level of maturity. When someone's young, I expect them to act a certain way, not to be told. I don't expect them to be totally mature, but I expect them to be mature in certain ways for their age. So. But when you're older, I expect you to act mature too. If you're 30 plus, I expect you to act mature. I expect people to always make mistakes. Don't get me wrong. People have go through trials and tribulations, and people make mistakes. I understand that. Trust me, I understand that. I know people have problems, issues, and stuff like that. I expect some issues to make them act certain ways at times, and I understand that. But besides that, I expect everybody to act mature. If you're young, be mature for your age, and try to be mature for your age. I expect certain degrees of immaturity, but be mature for your age. And try to be mature for your age. And when you get older, the more older you get, the more mature you should try to act and try to be and get and be. But I'm through with immature people. I'm 37 and I tolerate a lot of immaturity in people. I'm not gonna even call it ignorance. I'm gonna call it immaturity because it's just it is well again it is ignorance a little bit too and immaturity. Some people just like to act a little ignorant and immature. I call it immature because at certain stages in your life, right, you have gathered enough information in your life to know certain things are appropriate and certain things are not appropriate, and certain things are foolish and certain things are not appropriate, and certain things are foolish and immature. So I'm calling it maturity for now. I'm calling it immaturity. But some people, they want you to tolerate immaturity till you're 50. You know, I can't be 50 years old tolerating immaturity from certain people. I'm gonna be fed up to here when I'm 50 and people still act mature at certain stages in their life if they act that way. You know, I expect people to mature appropriately when as they age. But at this stage in my life, I don't. I'm through with immaturity, so I'm not going to tolerate immaturity since I don't consider myself an immature person. I may have little. I'm not perfect. I have problems. I may have this or that on certain things, but I don't consider myself an immature person. I act mature for my age, and I act mature for my age. So I expect people to act mature. Act mature for your age. If you're 10, act mature the way a 10-year-old act mature. If you're 15, act mature for the way a 15-year-old act mature. And if you're 20 and so on and so on, act mature for your age. Older people, expect people to act mature for the age. Don't expect a 12-year-old to act like a 30-year-old. He's going to have problems. He's going to be things he has to go through the motions with to figure out at a young age, and he has to figure it out like that, and they have to go through that. Sometimes people get older and they forget what it was like to be a kid again, or not a kid, but a young person, or a kid, or a young person in general. The things you have to go through, the things you have to feel out, and the things you have to experience in order for you to learn from. Some people forget that. But with that being said, act mature for your age. Learn from what you go through every year in your life and learn how to act mature. Try to be intelligent. Try to be mature. Stop being ignorant. Stop being foolish. Stop being stuff like that. Act mature. I'm through with immature people. I'm trying to not tolerate too much immaturity, but learn. And also, I'm trying not to tolerate immaturity. If you just keep tolerating it more and more, it just keeps spiraling out of control to ignorance is just the state of mind people live in. So that's what this video is about. I'm through with immature people. Act mature, act your age, not your shoe size. Act mature for your age. Act mature, people, please. Thank you.